8 foundation clubs for the national second tier have been revealed, but is it really a national competition if only 2 states are involved? Let's dive into it right now. The clubs have been revealed by Football Australia for the first season of the competition, which is set to debut in March or April of 2025. So we do have a little bit of wait. It was revealed a few months ago that it was going to be 2024, so it's been pushed back. But look, this is very exciting. It's getting closer to actually happening, getting off the ground. As the article says here, the founding clubs include 5 teams from New South Wales and 3 from Victoria, which is sort of where the first point of controversy comes from. But as it does say further on in the article, with more teams to be added and potentially in future seasons, just like how they have in the A-League, going to be adding more teams, potentially where the promotion and relegation comes in, maybe even with a third tier. It's almost certainly going to expand to the other states. But I guess we're going to start somewhere, right? As you can see here, the clubs were chosen by the FA following multiple phases of the application process that began in early 2023. FA has confirmed the intent to select an additional 2 to 4 clubs through a refined application process, with 2 competition formats under consideration for the inaugural season: a 10-team competition with 2 rounds plus a final series, and a 12-team competition with 2 rounds plus a final series. I was a little bit confused. I don't know if anyone else was when it said like a 10 or 12 team competition with 2 rounds. I was like, does that mean like 2 match weeks? But I assume, I don't know if anyone can provide some sort of clarification here, but I assume that means that it's going to be as in like you play each team 2 times, which makes sense. But as we can see here, we've got the clubs that they've revealed for the national second tier. And look, if you're a fan of the Australia Cup, if you're just an NPL fan, you would have recognised some of these names: Apia Leichhardt from New South Wales, Avondale FC, Marconi Stallions are in there, Preston Lions, South Melbourne, Sydney Olympics, Sydney United 58, Wollongong Wolves. And it's great, they down towards the end of the article here, which as I mentioned, it will be linked in the description. You can read a little blurb about each club, which is very nice to sort of give people who maybe aren't as familiar with these clubs a taste of the history. Just for clarity, like me personally, I'm someone who sort of grew up with the A-League. I wasn't sort of I was pretty young when the old NSL was around, so I'm not as familiar with these clubs as I am with the A-League clubs. So I'm excited to sort of get myself integrated with this sort of level of football. These clubs who have such a rich history already in Australian football. Look, obviously disappointing that we couldn't get clubs from South Australia, Western Australia, Queensland involved. But as I mentioned, I'm sure it's going to happen soon enough. And considering how football in Australia has been, we've had ups and downs over the past couple of decades, I think it's important to just get this thing off the ground, to get it up and running, even if that means it's just going to be 8 teams from 2 states. Get it up and running. Start small. We can start growing from there. Another talking point is about promotion relegation. A lot of people calling out for that promotion relegation with the A-League, and obviously there's a few sort of issues there in terms of how that lines up. A-League teams having a license to sort of be locked into the top tier of Australian football, but yeah, it's something that I think it's just inevitable. I think the majority of football fans in Australia, myself included, want promotion relegation. I think it's a no-brainer, and I think it will be introduced soon enough. But I think this is, we're taking the right stepping stones to get there. Setting up the national second tier is obviously a crucial step to that. Setting up sort of the infrastructure to get ourselves closer to promotion relegation, to make a really sort of and integrate all of Australian football. There's been too much of a disconnect between the sort of the NPL and the A-League clubs. There's a real sort of passionate support there for the NPL clubs, and it'd be great for that to cross over to the A-League clubs as well. And I'm excited, man. I am excited. I'm positive. I'm optimistic that this will work out, but I would love to hear your thoughts on how this will pan out. How do you feel about the clubs that have been announced? Are you a fan of any of these clubs? Let me know in the comment section down below. My name's Lockie. This is Coswood Football. See you in the next one.